This week on Route 66. Here's your host, Tim Clark.
Well, good morning and welcome to another episode of This Week on Route 66. Today we're featuring Kingman, Arizona, and we're going to see what's going on Beale Street. But first, a quick message from Nick.
Do you have an announcement, a news item, or a product promotion that you'd like to share with the Route 66 community? There are three different options for you to share your information. Option 1, call into our studio hotline anytime, any day, and record your voice message. Or Option 2, call in for a voice conversation with a host. Or Option 3, schedule an online video interview. It's free and a fun way to get your information out to the Route 66 community. See our Facebook page for more information. And now back to Tim for more This Week on Route 66.
Today, Josh Noble is joining us from Beale Street in Kingman, Arizona. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
Absolutely. Now, before we talk about what's going on in Beale Street, can you briefly tell our viewers just a little bit about the Kingman Visitor Center?
Absolutely. The Kingman Visitor Center is located on Route 66 in downtown Kingman. This year, 2024, we were recognized by Best in USA as the best Route 66 visitor center in the state of Arizona. We get about 150 to 200,000 visitors every year from all 50 states and about 70 countries. So there's a lot of people that are out looking to experience Route 66. Inside our visitor center is also an electric vehicle museum, actually the world's only museum dedicated solely to electric vehicles, and a Route 66 museum that covers the chronological history of Route 66 over the centuries.
Now, also, I understand that you have a drive-through shield. Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We have the Route 66 drive-through shield. Years ago, people coming into a rally that we had called the Route 66 Fun Run would drive through a cutout shield of Route 66, entering the car show in historic downtown Kingman. We had a lot of people asking, they'd see pictures of it and they'd ask where that was so they can get their picture under the shield. And we'd say, well, you have to come in May. The first weekend in May every year, that's when we have it. Well, we finally realized that that's something that people wanted to do to commemorate their time on Route 66. So we had one permanently built and opened up in 2021. This year, it has been named by Phoenix Magazine as the most Instagrammable spot in the entire state of Arizona.
Wow. Okay. And yes, we did photograph my car as we were going through the shield during your 2024 fun run, which was a really fun run. It was a lot of fun. But our focus today is Beale Street. I understand there's some exciting news about Beale Street. Can you bring us up to date on that?
Yeah, so Beale Street is the main street of downtown Kingman. It's named after Lieutenant Edward Fitzgerald Beale. He was a naval commander who in 1857 used camels to survey the first federally funded wagon road that went from Texas to California, actually eventually I think from Arkansas all the way to California, to facilitate all the people that were going out west. And that is the route that eventually became what is today Route 66. Beale Street had very wide streets because it had to accommodate large mule trains that needed to be able to turn around. So you had streets that were built for the 1800s, early 1900s, and we were trying to utilize those today. So you had a lot of cars that were going maybe a little faster than they should. There were long distances at the crosswalks for people getting across the street. And we had some water runoff issues when it rained because it wasn't designed for, modern having the streets paved and the ground couldn't soak in the water. So we had a lot of things that needed to be corrected to make the streets more accessible for people, with crosswalks, for ADA compliance, for fixing those utility issues and the water runoff issues. So we did a $7 million investment between July of 2023 and June of 2024 where 4 blocks were basically torn up, and then they re-put them down with updated enhanced lighting, seating, better sidewalks, and the streets are narrower. There's more sidewalk space so we can host events, so that restaurants can use the space out in front of them, and the crosswalks are a lot shorter so that people can get across the streets without worrying about being having to go 70-80 feet across the street to get from one side to the other. Another cool thing that we did is we added in some interpretive signing. So we really wanted to share the history of Kingman. This is a view that you would have had in the 1940s from this same area. That's a 1940s Clipper bus. It's kind of cool because you could see they were showing the history of how people used to travel before that bus, and then what was modern times at that time. But we've got over, I think, 5 intersections. We've got pictures like that show a then and now sort of experience that you can see some of the history of Kingman. And then we also have a directory so that people can see what sort of businesses there are downtown. We've actually got 92 on this list, so there's quite a bit for people to do in historic downtown Kingman.
That is just really cool. I like the upgrades to the infrastructure, and also to make it more user friendly, not just for the citizens of Kingman, but for visitors as well. I just think this is really great. Do you have any other information about Beale Street or Kingman that you'd like to share?
Well, the renovation was also recognized by Phoenix Magazine as the best renovation in 2024 for the state of Arizona. We have the historic Beale Street Theater that is being worked on. That is a theater from, I think, the 1950s that they are renovating to host, comedians, musicians, plays. That's going to be a really exciting thing coming into downtown. Where what their goal is by 2026, the centennial, will have that pretty much fully refurbished. But probably later 2024 or early 2025, they'll be able to start hosting some things in the theater, which is great. Beale Street's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of culture. You can feel the history walking down on Beale Street. There's buildings from the early 1900s, from Art Deco era, from mid-century modern era. As the country moved west and more people came and settled in these areas, it grew. And so you can see kind of the fingerprint of this country's development in our downtown, which I think is truly spectacular.
Well, I just think that's really great. Now, if a viewer wants more information about Kingman as a visitor, or maybe more information on Beale Street, what social media or websites, what do you recommend them to actually log on and visit?
Yeah, so if you want to look for information on visiting Kingman, Explore Kingman is all you need to know. ExploreKingman.com is the website. Explore Kingman is our Instagram, Facebook, and our TikTok feed. So all of those are going to get you that information. But if you come downtown, I'd really encourage you visit Kingman.tours. Kingman.tours will take you to a virtual tour downtown that was set up by Kingman Main Street. They use a local author named Jim Hinckley to give a narrated tour so you can follow and listen to the stories about the different sites and areas in downtown Kingman, and really learn the history while you're enjoying our downtown.
Well, I just think that's great. So when you're cruising Route 66 through Kingman, be sure to stop on Beale Street and also check out the Visitor Center. And Josh, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day today for joining us.
Thank you, Tama. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching This Week on Route 66. Feel free to share this video link with your friends and family, and be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep getting your kicks on Route 66.